Hello there, paper time, and in a week in which Apocalypse Not Now is headline news, we've got a bumper haul of stories for you today in our last roundup of the year. Let's start off in Spain, where of course the big news of this week has been Tito Vilanova's illness. News that came as it happened on the very day that Barcelona's Eric Abidal made his return to team training after his own successful battle against cancer. Here's El Mundo Deportivo with a quote from Vilanova: "I will be back soon," and that's a message echoed in sport. I'll be back soon with the Madrid papers, I'm delighted to say, also chiming in. Marker here, we're all with you, Tito, and ass courage, Tito. El Mundo calling this a rollercoaster week of emotions for Barcelona. It all began with new contracts for Messi, Xavi and Puyol, and then the return of Abidal, but now this. The club, though, they say, has done well to discard disruptive talk of replacement managers, for just as Abidal returned, soon the record-breaking manager Vilanova will be back on his feet as well. Well, look forward to that happening. In the meantime, while Tito marshals his forces from someone who'll soon be back on their feet to someone who's out on their ear, as the Bundesliga sees its third dismissal of the season. Huub Stevens is the man in question, manager, erstwhile manager that is, of Champions League side Schalke. It's the Stevens kicking, the Flying Dutchman has flown, says Bill. Not an enormous surprise this. 5 points in 8 games had shaken Stevens. And following defeat at the weekend, Schalke director Horst Held, who you may remember from his last role in Jack Volz's bed, decided to replace the Dutchman with Jens Keller, a former Stuttgart interim boss, a man widely described in the press as hapless, and who indeed promptly lost Tuesday's cup game to Mainz. With Mainz over, matters now become concerned with re-signing Klaus-Jan Huntelaar, which thanks to an extra €1 million a year they're set to do, and of course firing up the rest of this underperforming Schalke side. Thunder's build, no more excuses. They've relayed the turf at the stadium, they fired the manager. Now, says the paper, this tumbling team know what time it is. Boy. Well, while Schalke head off into their winter break with the rest of the Bundesliga, next up for us, it's Italy, where front page of the week was this one from the Gazzetta, signing off on Thursday in pre-apocalypse mode with a sort of universal judgment tribute cover. Since the world ends on Friday, according to the Mayans, says the Gazzetta, we decided to go out with a little picture of the best sportsman of all time. Whoa, let's have a look at this then. Roger Federer, Ayrton Senna, Muhammad Ali, Usain Bolt, of course, Diego Armando Maradona, David Beckham, all the greats, as I say. As you can see there, Leo Messi, they've given him the biggest part of the picture, and also the littlest one. Bless. That'll be those steroids then. Anyway, elsewhere, meantime, in Italy, it's penal problems of another kind, as Napoli see their title chances hit by a 2-point penalty. This is the latest result of the Calcio Scommessi affair. Napoli penalised this week because back in 2010, their third-choice keeper approached 2 other members of the squad, Gianluca Grava and the captain Paolo Cannavaro, and suggested that they help him fix a game. Now, they said no, but they never reported it. He then got caught, confessed, and now Cannavaro and Grava have got 6-month bans, while Napoli themselves get docked 2 points because they are deemed under sporting law to be responsible for the conduct of their employees. Well, storms Napoli owner and top B-Day botherer Aurelio De Laurentiis on the cover of the Corriere dello Sport. They have falsified the championship. This sentence is unjust. Il Mattino, the Naples paper, agrees, calling it judicial madness. They suggest as well that Napoli may try and sue the league for damages. La Repubblica from Rome, meanwhile, take a rather different angle. Says their columnist, 4 other clubs have received similar punishments this year and no one's rent their clothes over them. Why should Napoli be any different? Juve manager Antonio Conte got a ban for not reporting something. So should Cannavaro and Grava. It was their duty as sportsmen to report this. Well, it's an interesting debate. Napoli do have 2 more levels of appeal to go to in a case which, if upheld, could see them thrown out of Europe next season. But nice to see that in the meantime the team have been behind their suspended teammates with one of those solidarity t-shirts. In their case, a vest with Cannavaro and Gravi scrawled on it. Pushing the boat out there, Napoli. Now, just time for one last item today, and it's from France, excitingly enough, where there's a 3-way tie atop Ligue 1, but an even bigger battle at the PSG car park. Now, a few weeks ago, this all kicked off when Zlatan Ibrahimovic was told that he couldn't park his car in a space reserved for the PSG staff. Well, Zlatan, big Zlatan, he calmly left his vehicle right across the car park entrance, stopping anyone entering or leaving it, and then went off to training. Anyway, I can't find the paper. Where's the paper gone? Here it is. This week, Javier Pastore is at it too. Here's the headline in L'Equipe: when Pastore thinks he's Ibra. Yep, explains the paper. Upon being refused entry through the coach's entrance, the Argentine player backed up, then drove his car into the gate, smashing it. And there he is, looking irate, in front of an R8, as it happens. Well, there you go. Not so much Parc des Princes as Parc des Princesses for PSG, and clearly 1 or 2 problems for Carlo Ancelotti to be dealing with. On that high note, anyway, that's where we'll wrap up our Christmas papers for this year. We'll be back in January, just as the EuroLeague start rumbling back into life from their winter breaks. So have yourself a super Christmas. Other holiday festivities are available in the meantime, and we'll see you soon.